Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode 61 of the Everything Motor Racing podcast. I hope you're having a good week. There's a number of 61s, Jacob. Take it away.
Number of 61s?
There is a lot, yes.
Damn, all I can think of is Dakota.
Or?
Go on, try me.
Right. I'll give you a hint. He's Australian.
Arthur Sissis.
Yeah. The Turkish one.
Oh, of course, Onju, yeah.
And on to there's a motocross rider, Spanish.
Prado.
Yeah. The 2021 Yamaha Cup champion.
Oh, Christ. I'm not sure on that one, I'll be honest. You know, I don't really do Superbike.
Iker Garcia. Ross Patterson on BSB. And Austin Miller, who I interviewed last year in Moto America. And Ben Curry, who did race it in BSB, but now is obviously he's in, I think, 27 now in Supersport.
Forgot about Ben Curry. Should have got him.
Yeah. So, that's your 61s. We've got Cameron here today as well. Hello, Cameron.
Hello.
Hi, welcome back.
Thanks for having me.
Welcome. It was pretty boring this weekend again.
Yeah, I'll agree with you this weekend. I was Moto 2, my least favorite class, was the highlight. It absolutely was. Like Moto 3
brilliant.
Didn't have that usual Moto 3 madness. MotoGP was just dull after the first two laps. Moto 2 though, I enjoyed, I have to say.
Yeah, I was enjoying Moto 2, so I'm happy with that.
I'm very grateful for the Red Bull Rookies Cup though, because that was some good racing.
Yeah, I did it in the first race. Jeez.
Second race was good as well. Angel Piqueras. Took his first ever victory in the Rookies Cup. He's only a rookie himself. And then Rueda led the lap and finished fourth. Wanted to give a big shout out to Harrison Vaught as well, who got a podium in race one. Finished second. That guy, considering he spent most of last year in hospital, that is, and a lot of this year in hospital as well. He is... come a long way. Really, really impressive by Harrison Vaught, to be fair.
He's always at the speed. He's just always been broken, hasn't he? Quite unlucky.
Yeah, that's it. Start the podcast off. I wanted to... There was a little bit of late drama on Thursday with a weirdly timed press conference for Miguel Oliveira and the Gresini racing team at the same time.
Yeah, what even happened? I just sort of... It just seems like a big nothing burger.
Yeah, so obviously there was that photo that went round at Mugello. Was it Mugello or Catalunya? Catalunya, where, Miguel was very clearly walking around with the Gresini squad, and it obviously fired up rumours that Miguel Oliveira will be going to the Gresini team this year or next year. And Miguel Oliveira even confirmed himself that they had a discussion and that his next year will be confirmed by... within 1 or 2 weeks, which obviously indicated Sachsenring. My theory is that the deal was meant to be done, and that press conference was for his announcement.
Yes.
100%. And the same with the Gresini thing, but I think because when you look back, Jack Miller was meant to be announced at, I think, Mugello for KTM, but Ducati pushed it back and said no, because they're still waiting to confirm Enea Bastianini, for example. And if Miguel Oliveira was confirmed at Gresini, then it would show that Enea Bastianini is going to that factory seat. Now, the thing with Ducati is they're in a position now, they've already confirmed, Paolo Ciabatti has already confirmed that Zarco is not in the running for the seat, which we'll discuss in a bit, because I'm quite annoyed about that. But he's confirmed that Zarco's not in the seat, and it's a straight shootout between Bastianini and Martin. If Oliveira was to be confirmed, then obviously that would then confirm Bastianini to the factory squad. They're keeping their bread unbuttered, shall I say, for the moment, and basically just keeping their powder dry. There you go. They're keeping their powder dry and just kind of not wanting to stroke the fire at the moment between each rider, because Martin hasn't even signed for Ducati yet for next year. There was a rumour that he had, but obviously he's not. So he's even gone on to say that he wants a factory seat next year, even if it's not in Ducati. Ducati realistically they could even wait until Misano this year to confirm their riders. And And so I think Ducati blocked that move for that reason. But another rumour has then come out that Miguel Oliveira is speaking to the RNF Aprilia squad.
Yeah, no, that's the one I like. I think he'd do better than Ducati, personally.
Yeah, potentially, yeah. I mean, sorry if you did hear that. I don't think that will come on the recording, but it was a train.
Jacob.
Yeah, I live next to a train tracks, and it's not a passenger train tracks, it's an industrial one. So for some reason, the industrial ones have to honk every time they go past the stop.
Oh, that's nice of them, isn't it? I respect that. But yeah, so the Miguel situation's a bit strange because, like, I don't know. I'd want to see him. I don't really care. I think either or Aprilia or Ducati would be good for him. He has confirmed already in that press conference that he won't be staying at KTM. But I don't know. I want to see Raul Fernandez on either one of those as well. I'd rather see him on a Ducati.
Well, this is what I was about to say. Can someone talk me through the implications of Oliveira at RNF then? Does that mean Darren Binder is seatless?
Yeah, because it's supposed to be Vietti and Oliveira at RNF.
But then Razvan Mazzali rubbished those rumours the next day.
He rubbished
so those
them.
rumours came out, and then the next day he was like, nope, that's not true.
Which means it's going to happen.
Yeah,
that's MotoGP lying in it.
So to give you a roundup of the rumours that have basically happened the weekend.
Please do.
And before, so Vietti and Oliveira were linked to RNF, with Gresini and Oliveira seemingly 90% not going ahead, according to which card? Fabio Di Gio to return to Moto2 with Fantic as part of the VR46 structure, which is just stupid, to be honest. He more than deserves his seat this year. He's absolutely smashed it. He was like 6th yesterday?
Yeah, he found it, hasn't he? Like, if he goes back to Moto2, provided he can keep this going after the summer break, then it's a travesty.
Oh, yeah, absolutely straight up. Race, to be fair. I finished 8th, but that's still from 5th to 8th, given that Brad Binder came up through the field. Marini came up for the field. Yeah, you know what? Fair play to him. Jack Miller as well. Johan Mir to Repsol Honda is 99% done.
Yeah.
Paul Espargaro to Tech 3 KTM is a continued rumour. Gresini could look to slot in Raul Fernandez. I believe Raul Fernandez has had a meeting now with Gresini, according to his manager. Iagura has said that he's not ready for MotoGP yet, which could throw a span through the works. This is all from the post that I made the other day, and currently nothing at the time was known about Alex Rins, but now, as of today, motorsport.com/autosport are reporting that he is in talks with LCR Honda.
Yeah, now,
right.
On, like 2 rounds of talks as well. That says to me that the initial feeling is good.
Yeah.
So I fully expect that to go ahead. Alex Marquez, we know, is a quality rider, but just hasn't been able to make it work, has he?
But Alex Marquez is in talks with Ducati.
Yeah, see, now,
come on.
I expect Alex to stay somewhere. Yeah. Even if it's like Moto E for now in the MotoGP paddock, I expect him to stay somewhere. But I don't expect him to like vacate. But I don't think Honda is his destiny next year.
So who are we expecting on the 2 LCRs then? If Rins were to be one, who?
I don't want Nakagami getting that seat. Like, no disrespect to Nakagami, of course, but like, I don't want him to get it, to be honest.
I think provided he replaces Alex Marquez Rins, then I think Taka would get another year while they...
Genuinely, yeah. I think Taka will get another year whilst they wait for Agura, but I don't want him to.
No, I don't think he deserves it anymore. But I think it's a case of Agura saying he's not ready, but we all know Team Asia like to push you up regardless, so...
Yeah, and Chantra is just not doing it at the moment. Like, what? He's got obviously, he didn't race Qatar, got a win, got a 2nd place, and you're like, wow, then got 3 zeros in a row, then got a podium, got a 0, and then finished, 11th Catalonia and 15th in Sachsenring? You're like, come on, man.
Yeah, he's wildly inconsistent.
Yeah,
he's like a yo-yo, isn't he?
Yeah, he's got the speed, but, and he could have been the man to step up, but...
Like, if Agura now say he ain't ready, if he'd been performing, as Agura, like slightly worse, but near Agura, he could be talking about Chandra as a MotoGP rider for you.
Yeah, that's it. But it's just a bit mad. And then obviously Paolo Giappati confirmed that Zarco will be staying at Pramac next year, which for me, I think is a bit disgraceful given the fact that he is third in the standings at the moment. He's only 27 off the title lead. He's the highest placed Ducati. He's overtaken Bastianini now. He's overtaken Bagnaia, of course. He's got 2 DNFs this year, but he's got 4 podiums already, and he has had a worse result in a race that he's finished of 9th place.
I think
that's hella consistent.
There's nothing. There's nothing wrong with a Pramac seat, though. Do you know what I mean? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's clearly working for Zarco. I don't know if
that's true.
Having Lenovo on the side of a big red bike would suddenly give him that extra 1% to actually do a backflip.
Yeah, but if that is true. It makes you grow your plums, doesn't it? Makes you think, I am one of the 2 chosen Ducati riders who they wanted to represent us as the factory. It makes your ego. That could be the 1% he's missing.
It could be, but then also much good that's done the guys actually on those seats.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know. I would say out of all of them, because so it's between Bastianini and Martin at the moment, right? Bastianini is wildly inconsistent. He's got 3 race wins, amazing, but then apart from that, he's not really done much. He's crashed 4 times, and he's finished around 10th place, and then you got Jorge Martin, who is still recovering from an injury.
Yeah, should point that out.
He's still recovering from an injury, but he is not performing as he should to get that seat because he is injured. How can you take the risk on a rider? Because this is a risk for Ducati, right? For me, Zarco is the safest bet, because if they're risking Bastianini, they're risking, a few wins, but then again, it's just another Jack Miller scenario where he's not consistent enough to fight for the title, but he'll get you some good results over the year. Same with Pecco as well, who again, unfortunately, is not good enough to fight for a title again, clearly, but can get you some good results. And then, Martin's just sat at the wayside because he's a bit injured, but he can get you some good results, but he's not. Ducati are trying to fight for a title here, and Zarco's the only man who's in the hunt still.
Yeah, I mean,
Zarco's not going to win you a title either.
The factory seat could make Zarco, instead of being consistently sort of, let's say, between 8th and 3rd on every race, it could suddenly, be top 4 every race, and then that's what wins a championship. So.
Yeah, it's consistent, isn't it? It's tricky. I think Ducati, they've tried so many times over the years, right? And they took a punt on, obviously, Valentino Rossi, didn't work. Took a punt on Jorge Lorenzo, didn't work out again. Dovi was their best man, and they destroyed the relationship with that. What if? I saw a very interesting comment earlier, and I'm going to have to bring it up. Somebody commented on my post, right? And they said, just do what they did when they hired Stoner. They took a punt on Stoner. He crashed his brains out LCR Honda, signed for Ducati, bang, first year title. Ralph Fernandez is sat there, isn't he?
Or Alex Marquez crashed his brains out at LCR, bang, first title.
I think everyone on a Honda has crashed their brains out.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not just take a punt on Ralph Fernandez?
Yeah, Miguel or Raul, I think both would be similar, because obviously both coming from KTM.
Yeah, Miguel would be a great shout, to be honest. Considering he's 10th overall at the moment, he's higher than Martin on a bike that is literally just
a dog.
A dog, yeah. Why not?
Yeah.
And Ralph Fernandez is doing so well at the moment. He got 12th yesterday, I believe, top of my head.
Yeah, ahead of a factory Yamaha.
Head of a factory Yamaha,
that's good.
12th place for Ralph Fernandez. That is stunning.
Yeah, I think the only rider you can compare Raul to is Remy, because they both came up as rookies on KTMs. He finished 3 places ahead of Remy. So, that's quite impressive. Though, I think it's quite interchangeable. If one goes to RNF and the other goes to Ducati, I think both would perform similarly on either bike, kind of thing.
Yeah, it's good equipment. It's just a case of putting who where, because at the end of the day, Ducati, I'm going to say it, they're looking stupid at the moment.
Yeah.
They've got 8 bikes on that grid, and their main man, they've put all their money into Francesco Bagnaia, who's proudly on the MotoGP Unlimited thing was I don't use a sports therapist. I don't need a sports therapist. And it's just crashing and making stupid mistakes.
I will say, in his defense this time around, it looked a really odd crash. Like, it wasn't a normal crash.
Yeah, because the rear just kind of came round on him.
Yeah, like, that doesn't happen there. So I'm going to suspect it's not entirely Pecco's fault this time. His other ones, you can't defend him. But this one...
Of course. No, I'd agree, but then his teammate had a long lap penalty and still finished third. Luca Marini, who's in his second year in the class, finished fifth on the same bike. Jorge Martin still finished sixth. Fabio Digia still finished eighth place on the same bike. Like, unfortunately...
It could just be a problem, you know, like a problem will be... Like, look at Aleix. He said he had tyre problems the entire race. You know, who's to say Pecco didn't just get a duff tyre? It'll never come out, obviously, but it looked very, very strange. Like... weird enough that it wasn't rider error.
As much as I'd agree, it's not a one-time thing with Pecco, is it?
That's it. Yeah. Like that's the problem. If this had been like a first or a second crash of the year, you could forgive him, especially if it is a bike problem. But when it's an emerging pattern, all of a sudden you're like, you can't afford those problems as well on top of crashing on your own.
Mm-hmm.
That's the issue.
Like, put it into perspective again, right? Bagnaia has 81 points at the moment. Tied with his teammate Jack Miller at 81 points. If you take their points and add it up, it's 162 points. Fabio Quartararo has 172.
Yeah. Did you see my stat that I put out?
No, I didn't.
Fabio got 172 points. The rest of the Yamahas combined have 45.
Bloody hell.
Well,
crazy.
I'm just looking at the standings here. And there's 2 riders that I can make out, 3 that have finished every race. 2 of them are Fabio and Aleix, the top 2. And then there's also Luca Marini.
Yeah,
Marini has finished. He has finished every single MotoGP race he's ever started, Marini.
And
every single one.
He's starting to back it up with decent points as well.
Results.
So,
it's going to get to the point where he's pushing too hard and he will crash. But I mean, who cares? Like, he's been doing so well with it that it's bound to happen at some point. You don't race a MotoGP bike and not crash.
Yeah, like Marini literally finishes every single race. But yeah, you say like Fabio and Aleix have finished every race. Neither of them have got a DNF this year.
Yeah. And they're first and second by a good chunk as well.
By a good margin, yeah.
Because the consistency is key.
27 points between Aleix and Zarco in third, and 61 points for Zarco to Fabio. It's a big jump.
It's not even the case of they've just been finishing either. They've been finishing high every single race, and that's a real issue for the others.
Yeah, well, like, you look at Fabio, like, obviously he had a tough Argentina and America, but then Portimao, P1, Spain, obviously Jerez, P2, France, 4th, Mugello, 2nd, Catalonia, 1st, Germany, 1st.
Yep.
That's how you win a championship.
He's running away with it.
Yeah.
I said to you earlier I wanted to bring it up, but I want you to
answer. I was going to mention this, so yeah, ask the question.
Do you reckon Fabio is now at Marc Marquez's level, a fit Marc Marquez's level? I'm going to say, yeah. I think he could beat him, like, outright.
I think, 2019 Marquez on the 2019 package against Fabio Quartararo now, I think it would be a good battle, but I think Fabio could genuinely beat Marc Marquez now. He is now the full package.
Yep.
I think what the Fabio we have now against 2019 Marquez would be what we're wanting from Fabio and Bagnaia this year. And it's just not coming to fruition. I think, they'd be trading top steps like every race. I think they'd be a pretty good match.
Yeah, it would be exhilarating, wouldn't it?
It would be so good to watch. But I think Fabio would at least compete with that 2019 Marc, which nobody else could do.
No.
Yeah.
Also, I've got a random fact for you whilst I'm just... Miller and Bagnaia, teammates, are both on 81 points. Rins and Mir are teammates on 69 points each.
Nice.
And then Binder and Dovi, teammates again on 10 points each.
Yeah. Well, it shows they're a balanced team, if nothing else.
But
you would expect Jorge Martin and Zarco to be on the same point, wouldn't it? But they're nowhere near each other.
No, that's Martin's had some issues. But
and then there's Morbidelli and Quartararo.
Like, what
That's
the
embarrassing.
hell? Morbidelli, like, you can't blame him on his knee anymore.
Yeah, it's something needs to change. He's just lost all the confidence. He can't ride on new tyres, apparently. Like, his lap times are comparable to Fabio's on used race tyres. But when you're 10 rows back from Fabio and not able to battle through because you're on a Yamaha, it just completely compromises your entire race.
Yeah, and obviously to see Binder and Dovi that down so far as well, I think just highlights exactly how good Fabio is, because he complained the first part of the year and was like, oh, I haven't got this top speed is not here, blah blah blah. And then he said, I think it was America, he sat down and was like, well, I can't change it. I'm just gonna have to try and ride around these issues. And now look at him, he's just absolutely flying.
Yeah, now we
got to Europe and then bang.
Yeah,
it was always liable to happen because we go to Europe and he proved like Europe is his stomping ground. Like the overseas are more Ducati based. I've been previously Honda based, but that's more Marc Marquez.
Yeah.
But now it's like, he goes to Europe. He knows the tracks inside out, a lot of them, and he just batters it. But I think a lot of it is a mindset switch.
Do I remember you, Jacob, asking us after America or even Argentina being like, is Fabio going to win another race? I seem to remember you asking
I was
that.
genuinely concerned that the Yamaha was that broken this year. But
it did look bad, didn't it?
Yeah, I genuinely thought that even someone of Fabio's caliber couldn't wrestle that Yam to results, especially in Europe. And it's gone the other way. He sort of just said, all right, well, I'll do what I can. If it don't work, tough tits, it's all they can do. It turns out his best is good enough.
It's unreal, really, to see the turnaround, because it kind of looked like it'd be Alicia's title at one point, didn't it?
Yeah.
Could still be, but
the Honda
it's looking unlikely.
Yeah. Like now the Honda, as we can tell, is just, now we get into the hotter conditions, is absolute crap.
Yeah, well, Honda failed to score a point at the German Grand Prix for the first time since the French Grand Prix in 1982 in the Premier class, which is 633 races in between 40 years and 28 days, or 14,600 and something days.
40 years.
And that they only didn't score points that race because it was boicotted by top riders because of safety concerns. Otherwise, they probably would have scored points.
Yep.
Making that gap even bigger.
And they probably should have boycotted the Hondas on safety grounds this year because they were cooking all their riders.
Yeah, Stefan Bradl couldn't grip his brake lever because it was too hot.
Yeah,
Paul got his foot.
Yeah, Paul cooked his foot.
So did Bradl. Bradl's foot was cooked as well.
Apparently and that actually links into one of the other things I wanted to mention, which was Aleix wasn't using the new fairing because apparently the new fairing with the heat from the clutch was too much and it was cooking his foot.
All right.
Well, that's why you keep seeing riders with foil on their feet.
Yeah.
Because it's just too hot.
Yeah. But Paul literally had to pull in because his foot was getting boiled in his boot. Like, there was one point where it was probably like perfectly well done.
Yeah, he had something as well. Hold on, I'll try and get the press release. Else, it was.
I don't know how Bradl's levers could get so hot.
No, so here we go. So I've got the press release now. Bardell said he had a big issue with riding the bike in the heat after following people first few corners because it was hot. It was like 40 degrees.
40 degrees ambient, yeah.
Mental. So he said he couldn't brake because his right hand, the lever came so hot he couldn't. Like, he was literally lapping at third, like in Moto 3 pace. It was crazy. Like slower than Moto 3 bikes. He did like a 126.4 and Guevara did a 125.8.
Oh my God.
But he said he had to drop back to get some fresh air for the bike in his body, tried to finish the race. Four in the limit, it had burned his right foot because it was so hot. I have seen photos and it is nasty as well.
The Honda's a pig of a bike at the minute.
Yeah, and then Paul said that he had a tough weekend already and it was another hard day. His ribs need time to recover, but there's more stress on them. Each day doesn't help. But the pain got worse and worse with the heat. He was struggling to breathe. Obviously, he had a lot of heat on his right foot, which added to the pain. He had to retire because the pain was too extreme.
Yeah, Alex Marquez.
His ribs and his foot.
Alex Marquez obviously pulled out as well.
Yeah.
I assume the same issues. Must have been something to do with the Taka didn't get far enough to get cooked.
I don't know. I've got the Idemitsu press release. Where's the Castrol? There you go. Alex Marquez had a technical issue with the bike. He doesn't say what
Yeah, that translates to same issues as the Hondas. 100%. Like Taka probably would have had to have pulled in as well because he was hurt anyway, but he didn't get far enough because he crashed.
Yeah, like fair play to Bradl, to be honest. Like, because that was brutal for Bradl to be so far back and all that, and lapping so slow. But the fact that because at the end of the day, Bradl has become kind of a guy who, he's a test rider and all that, but he keeps crashing whilst doing his test riding duties.
First corner and you're like, the time as well.
Yeah, and you're like, bro, you're there to get data and you're crashing. Like, it's not acceptable. So fair play to him for sticking that out and actually going out there and getting a result.
Do you want to know what's mad though? Vinales did that last year on Yamaha, didn't he?
He did, didn't he?
And we were all ripping the hell out of it. It didn't matter different perspectives of what a rider should be doing. Give us different opinions.
Yeah, because Vinales couldn't overtake, could he? And got really annoyed, so he purposely dropped back to prove that he had the pace to fight at the front.
Yeah, and then we all ripped him for that. And then Bradl does the same thing to get the data, and we were all like, "Oh, well done, Bradl." Because Bradl, he also obviously had a burnt foot and couldn't grip his brake lever as well. Otherwise, I'd be like, "What the fuck?" So his job is to get the data.
Yeah, but and I'm on the topic of Vinales though. I was gutted for him.
He would have had a podium.
Yeah.
100%.
Oh yeah, 100% he had a podium in him. But I wasn't sure what was going on because he clearly was faster than Aleix, but wasn't overtaking him. So I'm wondering if maybe he was trying to limit for the championship and just, stay as a good B man or what. But he was clearly faster than him, but then his rear height device stayed on. So Aleix runs a manual rear height device, which basically means that when he goes around the corners, Aleix can turn it on and off when he likes. Vinales used the automatic one, which
semi-auto
as you works. No, it's automatic.
Is it not manually adjustable also?
Potentially, but from what I read and saw, it was automatic.
Yeah, it's like he runs the GPS base, but I think he can ride it with a lever like Aleix does.
Well, I don't know because it got stuck on in the race and couldn't turn it off, could he? So,
it looked to me like it collapsed as opposed to.
No, so basically, from what Aleix said yesterday, the Vinales runs the automatic one and it got stuck on. And Aleix basically said after the race that even though his didn't get stuck on, they should just ban them completely because it's ruining riders' races and it's things like that. But the fact, it just shows though how far Vinales has come because I fully expected him to go back to the pit and go absolutely mental. Mm-hmm. But instead he was just fist bumping everyone, and be like, is what it is. And I was like, it just shows like a year's mindset, how 1 year and being in a different environment can change people. Because, you got that podium last year at Assen and his face, you could see it all.
He didn't want to score points for Jan, did he? You could tell.
He was angry. He looked defeated.
Now, how many times have we said, even on this pod, a happy Maverick is a fast Maverick?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And look what happens. I was wondering what his reaction was going to be. I was watching him quite closely.
Yeah, I was waiting for him to go mental, to be honest.
I didn't think he'd go mental, but I was hoping his head wouldn't drop. That was more my concern, not the angry, but like a disappointed Maverick, because then he comes, dead last the next race. But he didn't seem to have that symptom, so that's encouraging.
I think he's just taking the positives.
Yeah. But there were many, many positives in my opinion. Yeah. I put him on the podium, didn't I, in the predictions.
The predictions, yeah.
I was nearly right.
Well, yeah,
I believe in Maverick on there, Aprilia, and
he can do it.
Show now.
It's coming, and he's just building and building each race, and I think he's gonna come. He's gonna get a podium soon, and he could be obviously the 5th rider in history to win on 3 manufacturers. So
who's to say it won't be next? He won it. He won a podium, hasn't, didn't he, last year?
Yeah, he did indeed. That's it.
Who's to say it won't be next?
Well, it might. Something would have to happen to Fabio, though.
I'm not saying win, but podium would be a start.
A podium.
Fabio is you can't beat him unless he crashes, I think, at this point. I got a load of stick, actually, because I made a post earlier this week and was like, we can speculate about who's going to win this week, but it's obviously going to be Fabio Quartararo. And they were like, you're biased towards Fabio, blah, blah, blah. It's like, bro, no, it's just on fire. And then he goes and wins. And then I'm like, told you.
Fuck your brother, that's why.
Yeah, but yes. Should we move on to the predictions of the Moto3s?
Yeah,
go on then. Because I'm ready to lose. So
yeah. I'm giving up.
So if you haven't listened to the podcast before, basically we do a prediction every race weekend, and I'm sure that everybody who listens every week knows this already. I'm so sorry, but basically we do a prediction every race weekend, and we predict the pole position for each class and where they're going to finish on the podium, and we score points going off the back of that. So you get 1 point for any pace on the podium. So if you put Guevara to finish third and he finishes second, then you get a point. You also get a point for getting pole position correct. If you correctly predict a rider to finish on the podium, for example, you predict Guevara to finish second, he finishes second, then you get 5 points. If you correctly predict the winner, you get 10 points. You get 15 points if you get the full 3 podium riders correct, but their positions are wrong. And you get 20 points if you get the full podium positions incorrect, but you also get pole position. You get 25 points if you get the podium correct and the positions in the correct order, which I did do the other week. And you get a full 30 points if you get all the podium positions correct and pole position. So heading into Sachsenring, the leaderboard is as so. Me in first with 139 points. Jacob in second with 92. Cameron in third with 74. And Ryan in fourth, who did miss Qatar with 72 points. So, Moto3 first. The pole positions. I went for Guevara, who got pole position. Jacob also went for Guevara. Cameron went Garcia, and Ryan went with Onshu. So me and Jacob get 1 point.
I forgot to text Ryan for his predictions.
That's all right. I've got him.
Hero.
And in the race, Guevara took the victory over Dennis Foggia with Sergio Garcia in third. I predicted Garcia to win, Guevara second, and Foggia in third.
Oh.
So I got the podium correct and pole position. So I scooped up a full 20 points.
How convenient.
I know, it's crazy, isn't it? Jacob went for Onshu to finish first, Garcia second, and Messia third. So Jacob picks up 1 point plus pole position. Cameron correctly predicted the winner of Guevara.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, with Garcia in second and McPhee in third.
McPhee.
Cameron gets 11 points, and Ryan put Guevara first, Foggia second, and Toba third. So Ryan gets 15 points.
Do you know what's really annoying?
What?
I think Onshu would have been the only rider to compete with Guevara.
If he didn't lose that Q1 time, he could have done it.
He should have.
And then he got that long lap penalty as well.
Yeah, he should not have had that Q1 exit. He was not.
Like he was robbed, absolutely robbed. But the fact that he finished like 7th or something was a stunning ride, to be fair. So after the Moto3, it is me in first with 159 points. Jacob in second with 94. Ryan in third.
Yeah, I was just doing the maths in my head. He's overtaken me.
Yeah, in 87. And Cameron in fourth with 85. Cameron once led that table.
I did. You know what I said when I was leading? I was like, that's it. It's all downhill from here.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
it's because I keep swinging,
Good.
I keep swinging for the fences with, absolute haymakers with McPhee, who just broke his back, with Canet, who, severely injured or was.
He died.
But, I just, someone's got to do it. Can't take it too seriously. Otherwise you end up with loads of points and an ego.
Yeah, that's it. When you predict flipping, I don't know, Lorenzo Fellon to get a podium and he does it, you look like a legend.
Yeah, you look like Billy Big Plums. I know, but it's so rare that it comes off.
Yeah, but there's no actual prize here, so I'm just having a laugh.
It's pride in it and ego.
Someone's got to make it fun.
That's it. I wanted to give a big shout out though to Ayumu Sasaki, who made his return this weekend and finished flipping 4th place with a smashed up collarbone.
I love Sasaki.
He lives up his name, doesn't he? Crazy boy.
Yeah, crazy boy. Absolutely outstanding ride by Sasaki. And he nearly got that podium from Garcia as well, but obviously it wasn't supposed to be. But he had such a good ride, and I'm so impressed with him because
He's all right, that guy, isn't he? He's okay.
Yeah, he's. I do think that win is coming eventually
this season, 100%.
But yeah, it is what it is, I think. And with Daniel Holgado looking good as well on the IO bike, he qualified third.
Yeah, second, wasn't he?
I can't remember.
He was definitely front row.
Yeah, he was on the front row. I'm pretty sure it's third, but I could be wrong. And yeah, he did really well. And David Munoz was battling for the front positions at the start, but then eventually got dropped because the pace was a bit high.
I tell you who impressed me as well, Otola.
Yeah,
he
Otola.
qualified 24th, I believe, and came home 11th.
Yeah, the 10th. He's a little beast, to be fair, Otola. Once he gets in the swing of things, he's gonna be fighting right up there. He's such a solid rider. He's quite tall though. I could see him maybe move to Moto 2.
I imagine he takes Jake Dixon's seat.
Oh, God.
I think Furusato did well.
Rider. Who did?
Tayo Furusato. I think he did well.
Yeah,
he was a couple of seconds off the points. He was close.
Yeah, he did well. Adji was quite unfortunate. He something went wrong with him very, very.
And obviously first lap, what was it? Riccardo Rossi got knocked off by Tatai. John McPhee was involved. Like, what the hell was that from Tatai?
Horrendous.
I can see why he did it, because the Saxon Ring first corner lends itself to dive bombing in the first corner. Like, it's just how it is. But there's dive bombing, and then there's just rank stupidity.
Well, it's bowling
across the line. Yeah.
Well, I'm quite impressed though with John McPhee to come over in 19th, given the fact that he was knocked off first corner, made it back onto his bike, and overtook Carrasco, Sura, and Toba.
Yeah, Sura's still very hurt, to be fair. So.
Yeah, Sura's very injured. Toba has no excuse now.
Yeah,
at all.
Toba's done, I think. Yeah, I think he's peaked now.
Yeah, like, I don't know what nerves going on. He just needs to go back to Japan with racing Japan Championship with the rest of the failed Japanese riders who have come over and not done it.
Oh, like leave Yuki Kuni alone.
I was going to say, the fact that Yuki Kuni lost his seat and Toba hasn't lost his seat, it's tense, but...
Have you seen that Asian road race? It is literally all Moto3 riders who no longer have Moto3 seats.
Yeah, like Hiroki Ono is the Moto3 champion over there at the moment.
29, 30, something like that.
He's 30, yeah, and he's racing Moto3 still.
Like, you got
wild.
Chip Batter at Puma. Remember him?
Yeah, you've got, what's his face?
Kip is there.
Well, Ono's in the Japan Championship, but in the All Asia one, sorry, you've got Chip, obviously.
You've got Paui, you've got Kuni. Kuni's in Japan, sorry. Kuni's in
Adam
Japan.
Norridin.
Yeah, Norridin. It's just a retirement ride.
Who's the guy who raced for AGR in the Chev last year?
Oh, Tiger Harder.
That's it. He's over there in the Japan Championship now, racing for Nagashima's team.
Yeah. TM45, and there's another one who was former GP. I can't remember.
I think it was Kuni. I think it is Kuni.
No, I don't think it's. It might be. Oh, either way.
I don't know. It doesn't really. But just a solid ride from John McPhee. I'm quite sad for Matteo Battel though, who got absolutely smashed off his bike after obviously Scott Ogden had a bit of a crash.
That was glad to see savage. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was absolutely gnarly. Battel will not race this weekend in Assen and will be replaced by young Italian rider Luca Lanetta, which I'm quite excited about.
I like that.
Lanetta's good.
Very good.
He's been under the radar a few years, but he got a podium in race 1 in the Red Bull Rookies at Sachsen Ring. And he's a young Italian rider. I think he's got enough in there.
He can do well. Yeah, I'm fully expecting a top 20.
Yeah, me too. And Joshua Watley has shown some really good progression as well over the weekend. He was within a second of the leaders. Obviously, it's a short track, so the gaps will be a lot smaller. But Joshua Watley showed a big, significant step forward. So I'm quite excited to see where he can kind of end up. Scott
Ogden, he's just bloody hell. Like, when I saw the high side, I was like, "Geez,
fifth gear, wasn't it?"
Yeah, you don't want a high side there on any bike.
What was it? Onshu moved, so Scott had to
readjust,
and then it just over the top.
Yeah, it was a monster high side.
Yeah, it was not nice. But looking at the championship standings, Sergio Garcia still leads by only 7 points now to his teammate Eisen Guevara. With Dennis Foggia sitting in third after overtaking Jaume Masia with 51 points. In fifth place overall is Dennis Onchu, who has finished every race so far this year. So very impressive. And then Sasaki holds on to sixth place again, ahead of Suzuki, Minyo, Tatai, and Riccardo Rossi rounding out the top 10. Right, move over to Moto 2.
Yay.
So Moto 2 predictions were pretty horrendous, to be honest. So Sam Lowe's got pole.
Yeah,
Didn't see that coming. Did not see that coming, to be honest. I put Aaron Canet, Jacob and Cameron put Augusto Fernandez, and Ryan put Ayagura. So we scored a big fat 0 on that one. Fernandez got the win, ahead of Acosta and Sam Lowe's. I went for Vietti, Agura, Canet, so I got a 0. Jacob went Chantra, Canet, Agura, 0. Cameron went for Canet, Fernandez, Acosta.
Ooh.
So Cameron gets 2 points. And then
God, it's scary that's high.
Yeah, and Ryan went Vietti, Agura, Canet, who scored a 0. So
I must be level pegging.
So I lead with 159, Jacob with 94 in second, and Cameron and Ryan are tied with 87 points in third place.
Ryan nailed the GP predictions, I think. So
yeah. He might even overtake me at this point.
I'll see.
But the suspense.
I wanted to give a big hell of a shout out there early on to our boy Sean Dillon Kelly, our first ever podcast guest, who has made one hell of a step forward in Moto 2, considering he's come from a national super sport championship into Moto 2, which is one of the most brutal classes in the world on a spec machinery. And he's coming home, he's got 17th now. And he wasn't dead last every session like he has been. He's not really done this track. I think he might have done it in the rookies, but he still doesn't really know it around a Moto 2 bike. And he's battling for points now, and he's beating some top talent, and he's sat in good position now. He finished 40 seconds from the leader. That gap is coming down race by race.
Yeah, it looked like an actual visible step was taken.
Yeah, it was really impressive, to be honest. He was really good in qualifying as well. He looked really solid.
It's good to see. Like we know how good he is. It's just sometimes you don't get to show it there.
No, and there was a hell of a lot of DNFs in the race, though, with the most notable being Celestino Vietti, who was crashed again.
Yeah, he very easily done turn one crash. Slithers out, front end goes downhill,
off camber.
Brakes. Yeah, it's one of those corners that as a bike rider you hate.
I'm going to say something controversial. He's not ready for MotoGP yet.
Nah.
No, I agree. I don't think anybody in Moto2 is, honestly.
No. I think the only rider who's close enough to being ready, as long as they can provide some more consistency and continue at the level they're on, is Augusto Fernandez. That's the only rider who, if this is a provider that he can continue to get more podiums and wins and battle for the championship by the end of the year, he's the only rider from that grid I'd promote at the moment.
Canet would be the only one for me.
I was about to say Canet, yeah.
I'd say, Canet, because he's just an absolute machine.
But aside from that, he's a consistently top Moto2 rider. That's what it takes to go up, unless you've got to shed loads of money. Yeah, it is tight at the top in Moto2. Like the top four are only separated by 17. But Vietti, Nagura leading Fernandez, again, third place now. He's jumped up that leaderboard every week. He's only 12 points off the lead now. And then you got Canet in fourth with 17 points off. I think Fernandez now, it's a Red Bull KTM 1-2 again. He's got a fast rookie teammate who he's going to be trying to beat every time now. Yeah. We're going to Assen next week, which is Fernandez's hunting ground. Yeah.
I think now, if he can get a podium there, then we're off to Silverstone. Then we're off to Spielberg, where he got a win, I think, last year.
Yeah.
I think this could now be the thing, and I think Fernandez is probably the only one, if he can continue this form, that I promote, because he dominated yesterday.
Yeah, not even close, was it?
And the lines he was taking were outrageous.
That's what being leader affords you, isn't it? It's you can take lines without being dive bombed.
No, he was even overtaking people.
Yeah,
he overtook Sam Lowe's of some absolutely outrageous
Some of his
stuff.
sweeping lines, if someone had been close to him, he would have been duffed up. But
Yeah.
You know,
but I'm glad to see Lowe's back on the box though after so many DNFs. No, I didn't expect it either. I was a bit sad for Marcel Schotter, but you know,
you could see how gutted he was in the gravel trap. He wanted that podium.
Yeah, he did.
But who impressed me the most was both the speed up boys.
Oh yeah, well the fact that Furman was throwing up on the grid. Furman was throwing up on the grid, yeah.
Why?
And he got fifth.
Was he unwell or was the heat or what?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure why he was throwing up, to be honest. But yeah, he was throwing up, and yeah, he got fifth. And then obviously, yeah, like Jacob just said, Alonso Lopez in seventh, with Arenas, who's made a step.
Yeah.
In sixth, you know, he got front row, started from second. You know, there's a lot of people slating him a little bit, going, "Oh, you know, Jake Dixon's doing better than him. He needs to be doing better." Blah 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 blah. And Arenas has gone, I'm a world champion. Look what I can do.
Yeah, and honestly, like if he continues that, suddenly there's a bit of a problem for Aspar because he would have been the one dropped for Garcia/Guevara.
Well, the thing is, I think if they're going to promote either a Guevara or Garcia, they'll promote Guevara because he's taller. He's got that, you know, macho riding style like Pedro. Whereas I would see Garcia as more of like a Lorenzo Dalla Porta style rider, if that makes sense.
I don't know.
He's a bit smaller.
Garcia's not short. Like,
not short, but
I think Garcia would suit a Moto2 better than Guevara, personally.
That's an interesting take. I think for me, Guevara is more of a built for it, but you know, he's kind of big, he's got the legs.
Rider, whereas Garcia is Lux Moto2. I think there's the difference. Like Guevara needs to do a binder and skip it, in my opinion.
Could do. I think time will tell. I think there will be a shuffle round.
That's who he reminds me of is Joan Mir. Mir was a MotoGP rider on a Moto3 bike.
Well, Jordan, what's his face? Jordan at Crash.net. I don't know if I'm allowed to say his name, but I'm saying it anyway. Said the same, and he said that, you know, Mir and he's the guy who runs MotoGP socials for Crash.net, made a post about, you know, Guevara and Mir being pretty much identical to one another, you know, with Guevara giving him kind of Joan Mir flashbacks, which is fair point. But
he's the first rider I've seen who I've thought, like, even when he was in Talent Cup, I thought, this kid's got it.
Yeah, he's a great rider, you know, and Guevara will be stepping up next year. I think there will be a lot of riders moving around next year. But Aspar have got a difficult decision because I can see them. Jake Dixon will have that seat because of Dorna.
Yeah.
He got that seat. I don't know how public this information is, but he got that seat because of Dorna. And there is another rider on that grid who is now on the grid who wasn't at the start of the year, who should have had that seat and was given the flick because Dorna placed Dixon there. Not going to name names, but it's not too hard to work out who I mean. And they're outperforming Dixon. But so I think Dixon will probably still get the seat because British, or they'll put him in another team. A lot of people keep saying that, you know, Dixon will be moving up to MotoGP with gas if that happens, but
nah, I no chance. Like,
I don't want that to happen. Absolutely not.
No, there's no chance, unfortunately. Like, what do you get yesterday? 12th?
11th, and he dropped down the order massively. I don't know why, but
probably heat in a Brit built for heat. But
but he was battling around with Manuel Gonzalez, who's a rookie.
Yeah, like if you want to
move up to MotoGP, there's less than a 10th between them.
Yeah, like if you want to move up to MotoGP, you don't get 12th.
The fact that we're saying that Aaron Canet, Celestino Vietti, Augusto Fernandez, Ayagura aren't ready for MotoGP yet, and yet Jake Dixon's being touted as being ready for MotoGP.
Yeah.
It's because you've already rode a big bike in Britain, see? So he's perfect for it.
That's the argument a lot of people are saying, but it's...
Also a British superbike, which is the equivalent of like an agricultural tractor compared to a MotoGP bike.
Yeah. On the topic of British superbike, though, John Hopkins has confirmed that Rory Skinner is in line to do a wild card for the American racing team at Silverstone.
Yeah, a certain Scottish man is quite happy about it.
Yes, Rory.
Like, he deserves it, though. Like, Rory is... his career has been very up and down. He's been denied shots left, right, and centre. But the fact that, you know, Iton Pitbull and John Hopkins now manage him and are their managers really helps him, which just kind of explains why he's rolling up in Alpine Star's suit this year, I guess.
I was just about to say, there's a clear support sign there, isn't there?
Yeah, and he stacked it from P1 yesterday at Knock Hill in race 3, which sucked because I think Rory could have easily got a win there.
Did he not? Is he not done now? He's not got the fastest ever lap at Knock Hill now as well.
Has he? Oh yeah, he did, didn't he?
Like a 47-1 or something.
It's nice that the Scotsman hold that.
What's that?
It's nice a Scotsman holds that. McPhee will be doing that next year in the British stock.
Oh hey, stock 600, let's go.
I think Rory's better than McPhee, to be honest. But
yeah, Rory is, as we know, is a superb talent. So I'm hoping that they can put that together and get him on the grid. There's a lot of funding and stuff that will go behind it to run a third bike, but I think with the right people behind it, it could happen. It's strange to see the American racing team under a British rider when you got riders like Brandon Pash and stuff like that. You could, but it's not my place to say, I guess.
Aside from
really
Pash,
happy for Rory.
Is there anyone ready in that grid who would be able to move over?
On Moto America, I would say the only guys that do it would probably be the Premier Class, like Cam Peterson. Get him on a Moto 2. That'd be cool.
But he's South African, isn't he? Not American.
Yeah, I know. But Rory's not American, is he?
But he's close already, let's be honest.
Marcos Ramirez, that American Marcos Ramirez.
Yeah, that's it. It's all the ones you could think of, in maybe who could come over from America, and they're all not American.
That's it. And with the rumour as well being that Danilo Petrucci replaced Michael Rinaldi at Ducati and World Superbike next year as well.
Makes sense.
Give that Ducati back to PJ. Happy days.
Yeah. But moving back into Moto 2 quickly as well. Obviously, Aaron Canet had that crash, nearly died because what was it? He was driving. His girlfriend was driving the car. Aaron turned off the TC and the traction control, and she lost control.
I shouldn't laugh, but it's you must have known she couldn't drive it anyway. Why the hell did he turn the traction control off?
Jacob confirmed, woman can't drive. Jacob sexist confirmed.
Yeah. No, it's she clearly was showing signs that she couldn't handle it if she stacked it. So if I was in a really powerful car being driven along, the last thing I'd do is want to give someone less control and turn the traction control off.
I don't know what was going on in the situation, so we can't really comment. But the facts are that his girlfriend was driving and Aaron turned off the TC.
Snapped the car in half.
Is that a fact?
That is what happened. Yes. But yeah, and Aaron said to DAZN that he nearly died.
Yep. Casually.
Terrifying. And he crashed. What was it? An FP3 because he got a nosebleed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Everybody was like, "Oh, his nose is bleeding," this and the other. But he crashed because he got a nosebleed, not as a symptom of the crash.
Yeah, in the next session we saw him with plugs up his nose and his ears.
I can already think of a certain Twitter journalist who's going to be kicking right off about it at some point very soon.
But so really good result by Aaron Canet given the situation. And Pedro Costa is once again the beast.
Yeah, he's finding it. But then I'm hoping he just doesn't go missing again for the next 2 races. That's the alarming thing.
He's got his swing now. He's into his rhythm now. I think this is it now.
I think Assen is going to be the biggest test for all the rookies because it's just so fast and so flowing.
Yeah,
you really, it does take a while to get your head around it.
Acosta's good at that though. He's good at just piecing it together and finding the flow.
Oh yeah, if Pedro be expected to be top rookie.
Yeah,
honestly, but it's and Assen is a different kettle of fish. It's gonna. I expect all the rookies in all classes to be lower, as a group as a whole.
Then Acosta's got that special thing.
Yeah, but you got to remember as well, Acosta woke up last year in a hotel bed and finished 4th last year. No, in a hospital bed last year, finished 4th. So, yeah, I think Costa's just a little bit special.
Yeah, he's not bad. He's like Sasaki, he's not bad.
He's all right.
Yeah. But yeah, before we move on to the MotoGP predictions, and wrap it up and give our predictions for Assen. Moto2 standings, Vietti leads Agora by 8 points. Augusto Fernandez 3rd, Canet 4th, Tony Arbolino 5th, ahead of Roberts, Strotter, Acosta, Chantra, and Dixon rounding out the top 10.
There we go.
So, MotoGP predictions.
F in the chat for Cub.
Yeah, so Bagnaia got pole. Wasn't expecting that, to be honest.
No.
I put me, Cameron, and Ryan put Quartararo. Jacob put Bagnaia. So well done, Jacob. A point. Quartararo took the victory ahead of Zarco and Miller. I put Oliveira to win because I was feeling risky. Quartararo 2nd and Bagnaia 3rd. I did put last week, Quartararo to win and change it at last second.
I was going to that.
Idiot. So yeah, Oliveira, Quartararo, Bagnaia. So I get 1 point from that. Jacob went with the Aleix, Quartararo, Vinales. Nearly got the Vinales and the Aleix, to be fair, in a different order. So Jacob gets 1 point. Add Bagnaia pole position, he gets 2 points. Cameron went with Miller, Quartararo, and Aleix. So he gets 2 points.
I tell you what, Cam, you was so close then.
Oh, with Miller?
No, but if you put Aleix 2nd, you would be rocking. Was it 15 points?
Something like that.
Yeah. And Ryan put Quartararo to win, Aleix 2nd, and Bagnaia 3rd. So I scored 1 point, Jacob scored 2, Cameron scored 2, Ryan scored 10.
Oh, heck.
So the final standings heading towards Assen is me in first, the 160 points. Ryan in second with 97 points. Jacob in third with 96.
Oh.
And Cameron in fourth with 89.
Ooh.
You're pulling a Quartararo here, Deck.
Sorry?
You're pulling a Quartararo here. You're just running away with it.
So I'm
consistent,
on the
high
overseas
scoring.
races. Because the overseas always throw up some weird results, don't they? And I'm going weird results all the time.
Yeah, they are. I've already discussed MotoGP, but to go into the races again a little bit, really impressed by Luca Marini, who equalled his best ever result of 5th place.
Yep.
Would you consider Marini for the factory seat right now?
Not yet. Put him maybe in a Pramac. But
yeah, that's what I would do. I would move Martin and put, and probably Zarco out, and put Marini and Bastianini in Pramac. That would be my...
Wait, you see Zarco out as into the factory or what?
Oh, well, no, because then he put Nea in factory. Zarco and Gresini. Each DJ, he'd be fine.
Away with yourself.
L opinion.
He's too old now. He's never going to get
prime.
He's never going to get another factory seat. He's too old.
He's got 4 podiums. He's performing better now than he did.
I'm not disputing his performance. He's doing very well, but he's too old now to get the factory seat. He's not a future investment, and that's what the factories think.
Yeah, but they keep doing that, and look where it's getting them nowhere.
Yeah, I agreed. But the fact is, that's what they do, and Zarco don't fit that mold.
Break the mold if they want to win a title. Yeah, and Jack Miller got in 3rd place after a long lap penalty as well, which was pretty damn impressive. Yeah, really good ride. And then obviously Ralph Fernandez in 12th.
That was good. What else we got?
Pretty solid. We had both Suzuki's DNF because Rins didn't even start.
DNS,
he was injured.
Rins.
Yeah, Rins didn't start. Mir crashed out very early on. Pecco crashed out.
Yeah, it was a weird race. It was primed to explode and then just is low.
Yeah, it was. It was just dull.
I think if Aleix didn't have that tyre problem, the fight for third would have been super interesting.
Every race at the moment is just dull. Pressing. I'm hoping Assen's better.
Like, there's always some intrigue somewhere. But it's like,
but it's always before the race there's intrigue, and then the race happens.
Yeah.
It's like, oh wait, none of that came to fruition. I could have been outside in the sunshine, you know.
But you're always wondering if, like today, like even though it wasn't a massive, 10 battle for the front, like, oh, is Miller going to catch Aleix for third? Oh, is Marini going to be able to catch Zarco? Going to catch Miller? I
was gunning for Marini because he was dropping a time like mad, closing in. But
as soon as Aleix made that mistake and sent Miller through, that was the end of it. That far superior pace. Marini would have struggled when he caught Miller, I think, because of the 8.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's what I like about Moto 2 is there's always something very interesting going on all the way down the field, and the MotoGP is becoming like that. Opposed to like the explosive Moto 3 battles.
Yeah.
Right. So before we end with predictions, I've already got everybody's but Cameron, so I'm going to read them out quite quickly.
I'm going to change mine. So.
No, you're not, because you've already given them. So
yeah, but I
didn't
think I was going to be on the pod.
No, they're final.
Well,
final. You should know this by now.
Do you want me to give
I
mine?
haven't said them on the pod, so no, I'm not.
No, they're final. You've literally already submitted them.
Nah.
They are final.
Well, do me a favour. Switch Fernandez into the win for Moto2 for me, please.
Nope.
That was the change I was going to make.
No, you've submitted them. If you weren't here, because we were going to do a pod with just me and Cameron, so you wouldn't have had a chance to change it then. So,
that's very true.
Yeah, but
that would have been terrible.
Tough titties.
But I've had a night's sleep now to consider it.
Oh, so, pole position, I'm going to read them out quick because I actually need to go back to work.
Yeah, me.
We've put 3. I've put Foggia. Jacob and Ryan have gone Guevara. Cameron, who are you going for?
Onchu.
Ooh.
So,
what you got in Cameron?
Cameron, who have you gone third place for Moto3?
Third place, I would quite like to put... God, I think this is going to be... Third place, Sasaki, please.
Sasaki. So, third place, I have gone also Sasaki. Jacob has gone Garcia and Ryan Foggia.
Mm-hmm.
In second place, Jacob has gone Masia. Ryan has gone Sasaki. I have gone Guevara. Cameron has gone with...
Garcia, please.
Right. And for the victory, Jacob and Ryan have gone Guevara.
Me too.
Yeah. I wouldn't change
Cameron,
that.
are you going Guevara?
Yeah, I think Guevara's kind of found an extra level now.
Yes, that's why I'm throwing a spanner in the work and saying Garcia is going to win it.
Okay. Nice.
He's on Guevara.
Yeah.
Not Sergio Garcia anymore.
Moto2 pole position, please, Cameron.
Moto2 pole? God. Could be anyone. Where are we? Assen. Moto2
this was my risk.
Let's say Acosta for a laugh. Yeah.
Yeah, I went the risk on this. So we'll see.
Yeah. So Ryan went with Canet. I went with Fernandez, and Jacob took a risk with Joe Roberts.
Okay.
Fast flowing Joe Roberts style, isn't it?
So Moto2 third place, I went with Canet. Jacob went with Fernandez.
Cameron I would like to change.
Cameron went with
Canet. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Ryan went with Sam Lowe.
Mm-hmm.
So, Moto2 second place, I've gone for Acosta. Jacob has gone Canet. Cameron, you've gone with...
I was going to go Acosta as well.
Fine. And then Ryan's gone with Agura.
Hmm.
Then, for the victory, Moto2, I've gone with Fernandez. Jacob, Acosta. Cameron?
Yeah, I also went Fernandez. Hard to ignore. An 8-second lead. Have I? Oh, yeah, I have.
Yeah. And Ryan, I mean, it's probably not a bad idea. Cameron has got... No, not Cameron. Ryan has gone with Canet.
Would like to see that as well.
Keep bagging Canet.
Agura's in a weird spot at the beginning.
Yeah, it's very strange. I can't really work him out. Right, finally, MotoGP. Jim, he and Ryan have gone Quartararo. Jacob has gone with Bagnaia, and Cameron has gone with
Vinales.
Oh, you hero!
Yeah,
love it.
Do you know what though? Do you know why I was thinking like this morning when I was thinking about like my predictions when I saw him? I was thinking I got a weird feeling about Luca Marini getting pole.
Possible, to be fair. He's like doing a 1 lap pace.
Yeah.
So third place, I've gone with Vinales. Jacob's gone with Bagnaia. Ryan's gone with Bagnaia, and Cameron's gone with.
In third place, just based on form, Aleix again. Or Miller. No, Aleix. I've already said it, yeah. Sorry. Okay.
Second place, I've gone with Quartararo. Jacob's gone with Espargaro. Ryan has gone with, there you go, Espargaro again. And Cameron's going for
Vinales.
Ales. So for the victory, Jacob and Ryan have gone Quartararo.
Yeah, I can't see
Cameron.
Yeah, Fabio as well.
Yeah.
He's mental, Ramdassen.
I am going for a different one. I put Garcia to win over Guevara, and I'm going to put Espargaro to win over Quartararo.
Wouldn't be mad.
I think, if anyway, the Yamaha is unbeatable.
Yeah, that's a fair point. So that wraps up everything. I'm going to be at Goodwood as well this week, so that's going to be good fun.
That'll be fun.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Quite jealous live on there.
Yeah, buddy. That'll be good. Yeah, I hope you've enjoyed listening to this podcast. I've actually got to go now, so I hope you enjoyed listening, and we'll be back next.
Bye.
Nice,
Bye-bye.